That's Timothy. You better go in there. That's Timothy. You better go in there.
Hey Ash, some people are saying that the volume is really low, so if you can maybe tend to your mic or something. Some people are saying better. Sounds good. Seems good.
these red and purple things that you see on the chart are called candlesticks. These things that you see are called candlesticks. So a quick refresher, candlesticks are normally red and green. However, you have the option to change the color of your chart to what you like. I like purple and red. Those are my favorite colors, as you can see. When I turn down my candles, it's a lot of red, right? So candlesticks are visual representation of what is going on in the market. Okay? They represent price movements that occurred in different time frames. Okay? They represent price movements that occurred in different time frames. So a candlestick may represent price movement that occurred in the last 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month, etc. And you would see it up here in different time frames of the past. Alright? So now last week we also talked about that there are two sides to the market. There are the buyers and there's sellers. We have buyers and sellers. The candles display who is in control. Okay, the candles display who is in control. So the green candle indicates buyers and the red candles indicate sellers. So when you see the green candlestick, that indicates price is going up. And when you see a sell candlestick, which is a red, that indicates price is going down. Okay? Alright, so we're also going to talk about a little bit more in depth of these candlesticks, okay? There are two main components that make up a candlestick. Okay? That is the body of the candlestick and the wicks or shadows. You can either call them wicks or shadows. So there's two things that make up the candlestick, the body and the wicks and shadows or shadows. So the body pretty much tells you who's in control, whether it's the buyers or sellers. Again, the body pretty much tells you who's in control, whether it's the buyers or the sellers. Now the lines that you see on the top or bottom here are called wicks and shadows. And wicks and shadows indicate the range of price movement that occurred during a period of time. And remember, the period of time could be 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, or etc. Okay? So, whenever prices are reached beyond the open and close, which we'll talk about that in just a few, that indicates the extent of these highs and lows. So it shows you how high or how low prices went. These wicks just show you how high and how low price went when you're looking at a chart. Right? Alright, really quick. So the candlesticks are Japanese candlesticks. They contain 4 important price levels, which are the open, okay, the close, and the high and low of a candlestick. So those are the 4 important price levels in the market. Remember, a candlestick displays collective data of prices in the market, so you have to remember that. So let's break these down in the slide, right? So I talked about how in the charts you would see different time frames, such as 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, and 8 minutes. And when I show you the next slide, I'll have you a better understanding of what I mean by open and close versus time frame. So here is a buy candlestick, right? Let's assume that this buy candlestick represents price movement in 1 hour. Okay? Price movement in 1 hour. So when a buy candlestick is forming, price opens in the bottom of the bottom. Okay? Bottom of the bottom. The open will be the market price at the beginning of that 1 hour. So exactly when that candlestick starts to form, that's where the open of the buy candlestick is. Okay? It opens at the bottom of the bottom. Now when the buyers push the market up, and the candlestick finished forming, the close of the buy candlestick will be at the top of the bar. So the buyers push the market up, and as the candle finished forming, it will close at the top of the bar. Now let's assume that the 1 hour period has ended and it's time for a new candlestick. So this one just finished forming. After the 1 hour or 60 minutes is done, a new candlestick will form, right? So the next candlestick that will form will open where the last candlestick closed. Okay, it will open where the last candlestick closed. In this example, the last candlestick closed on top of here, so the next candlestick will form where the last finished. Okay, so now let's assume the next candlestick is a sell candlestick. Now the sell candlestick is the opposite of a buy. Remember, buyers push the market up and sellers push the market down. So buyers push the market up, sellers push the market down. So the open price for a sell candlestick will be at the top of the bar. It will be at the top of the bar. When the sellers push the market down and the candlestick is finishing forming or finished forming, the closing of the price will be at the bottom of the bar, right? Since the sellers are pushing the market down, it makes sense that the closing of the candlestick will be at the bottom once it's done forming. And when it's finished forming, it finishes at the end of that 1 hour period. Alright? Now we talked about wicks and shadows. So the wicks and shadows, whether it's a buy or sell candlestick, shows how high price went or how low price went. So how high price went or how low price went. Whether it's the buyers or sellers, these price levels or these areas of how where the market is, it would be how high price went or how low price went. This is what the wicks and shadows represent. Okay? So there are candlesticks that will display strong momentum or a loss of momentum in the market. However, you will learn about price momentum in my lessons once we get started with our class. So I'll leave that for when you jump into my class. So with that being said, we learned a little bit more about candlesticks. So let's see how much you have learned in this session. Are you ready? Put an 8 in the chat if you're ready. Awesome. Let's get started. Which image shows the arrow pointing to the open of a buy candlestick? A or B? Awesome. So the correct answer is A. Because remember that for a buy candlestick, the opening is at the bottom of the bar. Nice job, guys. Nice. Right. Which image shows the arrow pointing to the open of a sell candlestick? You guys are so smart. Absolutely. We talked about that the sell candlestick open at the top of the bar. Nice. A candlestick do not represent price movement that occurred in the last 5 minutes, 50 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, 1 day, 1 week, and 1 month. A or B, or true or false? Beautiful. You guys learned today. That's correct. So it's false because candlesticks do represent price movement that occurred in the last 5 minutes, 15, 30, or etc. Okay, they do represent that. Right? Which image shows the arrows pointing to the high of a candlestick? A or B? Beautiful. You guys are awesome. Like, I love it. So the correct answer is A. As I mentioned before, the whether it's a buy or sell candlestick that's at the top of the wick. The wicks here, that's the high of the candlestick. The wick at the bottom here is the low of the candlestick. High, low. Okay? Like this one. My favorite question. Which classes will teach you a strategy, concept, or system on how to enter and exit the market to make profit? A or B? Love it. So the correct answer is B. Remember, I said earlier, I teach you the fundamentals, the basics to prepare you to jump into the advanced educator's class to learn a strategy, concept, or system on how to enter the market. However, the basics is where it all starts. You need the basics in order to know a strategy, concept. Beautiful job, guys. So, in my classes, with what you learned in this class and what you learned in this last session, you've learned 4 topics completely. Okay, you learned topics completely. When you jump into my classes, there will be a lot more other topics that we'll talk about to prepare you to move forward into the educating class. So there are other topics that are available to you all once you jump into the platform, and it will be the same system. We're interacting, we're engaging, and we'll have questions to make sure you understand the information material. Right? So with that being said, thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for staying throughout the whole session. Now I'm gonna introduce you to one of our advanced educators and pass the mic to G. G Money.
Hey Ash, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Ashley, for doing that. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? All right, here. All right, you guys can hear me. Let me go on the host now. And I believe you can see my screen. Yeah, there you go. How's everybody doing? I'm Gerardo Baez. I am one of the one of the Elevate educators that we host. With you guys too with us. It's a great honor, pleasure to be here. On the English side of the Zoom, close to over 700 people. So we're definitely just touching the surface on that, and our job and we want to impact as many people as possible, elevate them to understand this financial market, because it is something that everybody should learn. John always tells us, if you're new to forex or new to trading, have never traded before, we are technically already trading our money. If you have your money in a banking system, that money is being traded. And if you don't know how to grow your own money, and know how to read the charts, it's never too late to get started. I mean, I'm in my mid 30s. I just recently learned, while I was 30. So it's not something that it's in my financial background. Me, I'm a family person. I have 3 kids, lovely wife. I've been married over 10 years, and I'm a soccer coach. Nowadays, I'm a soccer coach and a full-time trader. So I mean, my advice to you all is here at Elevate. It's for you all to get proper education, bank trading concepts, to definitely see the market as our theme sees fit. But just a little bit of representation en español, porque sí soy mexicano, nací en México y hablo perfectamente el español, leo y escribo. Pero la marqueta de Forex es algo un poquito más diferente, que tenemos representantes que me van a ayudar, se van a encargar en la educación en español. Yo me voy a enfocar en inglés porque eso fue como yo aprendí, pero mi gente latina, mi gente que habla español y todo, sí se puede, y adelante con todo su progreso con Elevate. All right, so let's get started, y'all. So for you guys, hopefully I can see my screen, Ash, or whoever, kind of give me a thumbs up there.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Our session. Who's seen here the movie The Matrix? Anybody want to give me some yeah, maybe some M's for Matrix, just to kind of yeah, there you go. Yeah, we I love this movie. This movie is something that I watch that every day. It's inspiring. It's it's sci-fi inspiring. A lot of parables to real life. A lot of parables to trope. So our session is called Into the Matrix. We specifically focus on supply and demand, which I'll touch in a little bit. But how we connected with the market has been an eye opener for myself, for a lot of our students, and so forth. So so what is the matrix according to the market? How we have applied it. So basically, the matrix is a system of control. The matrix is a system of control. The market is a system of control. I believe last week in curve session we learned how the banks are the ones operating the market. They're the number one traders who trade the foreign exchange. So they need control. They need to find ways to move the market as they see fit and so forth. So along the matrix, we know that we have Agent Smith, right? Agent Smith in the movie was a guy trying to, an agent trying to disrupt the market, trying to, you know, facilitate from point A to point B, and the market's the same way. Agent Smith, we call him liquidity. The market's always looking for liquidity to try to go from point A to point B. And once that liquidity is filled, they go on to the next direction of where the market is. So Agent Smith is really, really important. However, with that glimpse of the market, here, this important scene right here is one of the most that I want to read the charts, the charts that Ash was just going through, the candles and so forth, that understanding that the market is fractal. If you have some experience in trading, you hear phrases, trend is your friend, or the trend goes this. It's really important to understand. But if you look at the market as a whole, there really is no trend. There is no spoon. And you can definitely find balance within the market to find to make money as the market is going down, and to make money as the market is going down without fear of being caught in the wrong direction. So that's how I connect the market being fractal. Fractal, fractal, fractal. You hear that word a lot in our sessions. But overall, when you leave our session, we want you to say, hey, I know Kung Fu. The moment Neo got, Jack plugged into the Matrix and had his first training knowing Kung Fu, he was just like, whoa, I know Kung Fu. And that's what we want you all to do. We want you to know Kung Fu in the sense of supply and demand. We teach the market supply and demand. We teach structure. And, for those of you all who like numbers, I love to use the Fibonacci retracement extension tool, So, but all of this is about 10% of what the market gives. 10% technical. 90% of trading is mindset. So my partner, Marcus Morpheus McKinney, he's that brings that calm voice to our classes, giving us each session start with a free your mind. Letting go of fear, letting go of doubt and disbelief. We want, by you freeing your mind, you can definitely see the market as, you know, you know, as Neo did. I'm not Neo. Our job is to create Neos, and making you all see the market, making you see the matrix, how Neo did, like that. So, but definitely, you guys will be in for a ride right now. So let's get started, y'all. Let's hit some eights right there. If you guys enjoyed the presentation, enter the matrix, supply and demand. Thank you guys. Appreciate the support. So first things first, we look at the market as supply and demand. I have about over 10 pages of information, but I'll just go over here a couple of slides. And this is exactly how I see things. Okay, so when we have too much supply in the market falls. Okay, when we have too much demand, the market rises. Okay, the most important thing you can know about supply and demand is equilibrium. Okay, when both are equal. So, for example, when the market goes down, that tells us that supply is greater than demand. Price is always trying to go back to equilibrium. Right? We're trying to help you understand that do not chase price. Let it come back to you. Let it come back to equilibrium and then sell. And vice versa in the other way. So you guys can see right here in this example, I mean, very simple, straightforward reading. Supply. When supply exceeds demand, the price of an asset will fall in order to attract buyers. When demand exceeds supply, the price of an asset will increase in order to attract sellers. And most importantly, my favorite thing, when supply and demand are equilibrium, the price of an asset will trade sideways on a narrow range. All right, so here's the next most important clues right here. Okay, the financial markets are fractal. These same basic rules apply to any time frame. Here's the trick. Due to the market being complex and dynamic, finding the true supply or demand origin is very unlikely, right? However, price leaves clues, okay? And this is kind of where I will be focused. What are the clues that the market leaves for us? Okay, so here goes. Supply BEC. When you come to our class, we'll explain what the BEC is. It's a great candle type, right? However, here, if you all were to take cash, see, they have a big bearish candle. My selling candles are black and my book are white, right? So here, supply is greater than demand, right? Here is an equilibrium zone that price will mitigate back to and then fall. These are three examples of what my subconscious is trained of what I see for a selling opportunity. The ones below are three visuals that are engraved in my subconscious. They're engraved in my eyes. And if you guys, every session we look for these, every session we train your eyes to identify these, right? So let's just look at some examples right here. We're going to focus on this one right here. Okay, this one is called a rally base rally. We have a bullish candle, we have one bearish candle, and we have another bullish candle. This leaves as the equilibrium zone. Price comes back down to it, mitigate only to go higher. So hopefully you guys get into a picture of this particular scenario. I'll give you all an example with the chart here on US 500. As you can see right now, we're just studying the candles, but for those of you who have some experience, the market is creating higher highs, right? So that tells us the market wants to go higher, right? So our job at Into the Matrix is for you to quickly get your eye trained to find examples of a rally-based rally, as you guys can see right here. Can I get an A on the chat there to see if you guys can agree with me that that's a rally-based rally, right? And what is price supposed to do before it goes higher? Maybe this is an advanced question, but this is called equilibrium, right? Equilibrium. Right? Price always wants to return back to equilibrium, correct itself before it goes higher, right? So the equilibrium technically becomes the entry zone, right? The entry zone, and the job is to undermarket and then find the play that will take us to the promised land, right? This is a rewind it to excuse me, I rewinded the clock a little bit there to just show this example, but the market is fractal. These things are happening over and over. Look at this. Price goes back to equilibrium, and all it does is just goes higher again. So, I'll show you guys a few examples right there over and over again. This area. Another example here with GU. This is my favorite example. This is a BEC demand zone, right? BEC demand zone right here. If I can get to zoom in. This right here is what changed, as you can see, in my trading career. And it just immediately changed. These three candlesticks right there. 1, 2, 3. We have, the BEC play. BEC play becomes the identifying these three candles becomes an equilibrium zone. Price shows that supply, in this scenario, price shows that demand is greater than supply, right? And price should come back to equilibrium to only go higher. And if we hit play, price does exactly that. Look at that. Price has met equilibrium and then only goes higher afterwards. That's another example right there. So that was two bullish examples. Now let me show you all right here a bearish example, which I already have highlighted. Can you all see the three candles right there? What is price supposed to do before it continues dropping? Go back towards equilibrium. Right? So, we trade smart money, we trade bank top tips, we supplement first, traditional smart money education, the fundamental of education, but we add a little edge to the matrix supply and demand twist, giving us more confirmation for that equilibrium zone. Easy. When we hit play, price goes back to equilibrium. There you go. That's our entry zone, and then we keep letting the market go lower to make money. So, and the final example on EuroPad. The market is fractal. You don't always have to wait for price to go back to equilibrium, right? So this is a live chart. We'll just kind of hit rewind right there. Okay, right here, price has showed its face, right? Supply being greater than demand. This is an equilibrium zone that price would like to return to. You read and study the candles. Okay, price is trying to get back over there. Okay, there you go. Actually, you know what? This is something that I love to show as well. And look, price left clues again. Price left another supply zone, right? But what happens if a supply zone gets broken, right? What happens? Well, check this out. Price is supposed to fall from right there, right? It's supposed to fall from there based on our rules and so forth. Look, supply gets broken. Supply gets broken. Well, supply becomes demand because it's an equilibrium zone, right? So price comes back, mitigates back to that same area to only take it back to that current equilibrium zone. And so, and this thing happens over and over again. Supply again right there. Can supply survive it? Maybe not. Supply gets broken. Supply gets right there. Right? Supply gets broken. As you guys can see, supply gets broken. And we have a new demand level right here. Trying to take the market to the upside. Price comes back and mitigates it to only go higher. So, that is our job here at our supply and demand, enter the matrix. And, myself, along with Marcus, we love to educate you all. Our main focus is education. Our main focus is education. And, I just can't wait to get started, y'all. I really, really can't get started. Get you all introduced to the confirmations that we use, the high structure, the ABC structure. I didn't even do Fibonacci today, and just limited with time. But you know, when you all decide to join Elevate, you'll have more of us, more of Ashley, more of John, and ask us any questions you guys would like to continue elevating your success and elevating your story. Thank you guys. Whoever's next, I'm sorry I got lost in the agenda for all the excitement. I do appreciate you.
All right, all right. I think I need to be made host. I can share my face. All right, there we go. If you can hear me and see me well, please drop an 8 in the chat box. Drop some 8s. Hello, everyone. That was awesome, G Money. Some of you guys were asking, where this stuff came from, and this is what you guys will have access to is the amazing methods and systems that all of our educators will be able to teach you guys and be able to allow you to see the market in a way that some of you may have never been able to see it before. So thank you, G Money. Thanks, Ash. You guys are awesome. So someone says you can't see me. Can you guys see me? Drop a 7 if you can see me.
I can see it.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure you guys could see me. All right. Well, guys, my name is Chris Evans. I'm also an educator here at Elevate, and I do have my own system that I do teach. However, what I want to show you guys today is some of the amazing tools and systems that we have provided, and you guys will be able to have access to that will accelerate, if you will, your ability to take advantage of this. Just a little background on me real quickly. My background is in the IT field. And quite a few years ago, I lost my job in that field, and that's where I started to more introduce to different ways to make money, and Forex is one of them that I became that came into my life, right? And I have used my IT background, if you will, and trading and combine them into one, right? And I guess you can say one of the gifts that I have is being able to take the mind of a trader, right, which I've done with many of our educators, and create tools that can then help our students be able to accelerate their success in the market. So I want to show you guys some of these tools, and you guys will be able to see the tools that we have. Awesome. So let me share my screen. I'm going to stop my video real quick and share my screen. And boom. Please drop an 8 if you can see my screen. Awesome. So this may seem like a lot to you guys, but I'm just going to just show you some of these things at quick glance so you can see that we got 3 different charts up right here. Right, we got one here on the left, one in the right, in the middle, and one here on the right. These are the 3 different systems that you guys will have access to from our educators, and it's basically the style and method that you will be learning put onto the screen and actually showing you potential entries based on that trading style. So not only will you learn these things, you'll actually also be able to use these tools, right, that will be able to give you optimal entries based on what you're learning in class, guys. So a lot of our students love these because depending on what your schedule is, whatever you have going on in life, sometimes it can be difficult to be able to sit in front of the charts and be able to analyze the market with and having that time and that time freedom, right? And that's what trading is for. But sometimes you have to grow into it. So this helps you grow into being able to get some of that time freedom, because what you can do with these systems is you can set alerts. So anytime one of these pops up onto a chart, it will get sent straight to your phone and let you know, hey, here's a potential trade that you can take based on the systems that you've been learning. So that's what each one of these do. You can see we have some sell signals are here, some here that have been on the system. We got some buy signals. Regardless of what they are, they're all tools that can help you um, uh, free up some of your time and also help you with some of the confirmations because that's one of the most difficult things that people have struggled with is actually knowing when to enter the market. They know, okay, I know this system, um, I'm learning them, but I'm still struggling exactly when I should be entering the market and this ability. So like, if you think this has been awesome, please drop some ace in the chat. We got some people that's already in the chat saying they're using all those tools and they're getting great results from them. Right, awesome. So, but this is not where it ends, guys. We took it another level, right? We took a whole level. We were like, okay, we got these tools, right, that are allowing our educators, our students to be able to see when they should enter the market. But what if we can find something, or what if we can create something that can do a little bit more? And that's exactly what we did, right? And so I want to show you one of our other tools that you guys will have access. Just a real brief um, explanation on what this does, guys. So those that were just paying attention to G Money's little quick class on where you had the zones, right? Where you had the zones, and these were his entry zones. Well, what we have done, guys, is our educators will actually provide you with some of these
So, if you enjoyed that training and you want more information, this is Robert Moore. Just inbox me, private message me, call me if you have my number, and I will get more information to you and provide you with a way to access the program so that you too can begin your journey to freedom. Love you all. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed and be safe.